So this will be the first time we actually try to find exactly where you were on September 11th.
That's correct.
For years, retired Air Force Colonel John Leach had no desire to see his old Pentagon office. It was too painful.
So you'd have been somewhere in this area here, right?
Yes.
But Leach agreed to take CNN there, now that he's vowed to re-engage with the past.
We would have been in this area right here, when the aircraft struck. And as I said, this was the firewall.
Right.
The aircraft, as you know, drove in at an angle,
right.
And it went. Actually, I believe it hit the first floor, drove in 3 rings. It hit with such force I had never experienced anything like it in my life. It rattled right down to the bone. The office filled with smoke. The roof started disintegrating. I ran out the door and I stood right about there, and secondary explosions started erupting. And people were screaming, just blood-curdling screams. At first there was that adrenaline rush, and within a few minutes I was scared. It was the first time I was really scared. It was like, my God, this is, we are under attack. I was so lucky. And if you look at the diagram of how the aircraft entered the building and the damage it did, it almost is like we were in a protected cocoon right there. We were virtually untouched. I inhaled a lot of jet fuel vapors, and I got dusted up, but that was the extent of my injuries.
Have you seen this before?
No, I haven't seen this one.
Down the hall, about 120 feet away from where Leach figures he cheated death, hangs a color-coded chart showing where some people were the very moment the plane hit. Red for dead, blue for injured, green for unhurt, and orange and yellow for people who were away.
For instance, in this conference room here,
yeah, it's the Army guys who were killed.
2 people killed. These are all seriously injured, and miraculously, this lieutenant colonel escapes injury. It's the randomness of it.
Yeah, it is.
It's just where you happen to be.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people say to me, God was with you that day, which I think is ridiculous to say something like that.
Because it would imply that God's not with some of these other people.
Folks. Yeah, it was just a horrible, occurrence.
Another first for John Leach, reviewing videotape of the destruction he escaped.
This is where 90-something personnel were killed on the first floor. Wow. And the devastation is just unbelievable. Makes you feel weak in the knees to see these pictures again.
Look at this on the desk here. You can see a pair of glasses.
A pair of glasses.
A bowl of candy is tipped over there.
Last stop, the Pentagon Chapel, where in a photo album, John Leach finds the friend who was with him September 11th, Navy Captain Jack Punches.
I've avoided this for the past 6 years. Avoided anything to do with 9/11, so it feels good to be here. A lot happened that day. A lot of good people died, a lot of very good people.
Jamie McIntyre, CNN, The Pentagon.